Hello, everyone. Welcome back from your Thanksgiving and welcome to Kind Soups. We are very excited to be done with turkey and Thanksgiving, and we're moving on to Indian food today. And we have a delicious Indian soup that our friend and Kind Chef Suparna is going to be leading us on. And I am going to not waste any time and introduce you to Suparna.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Deb, for the kind introduction.
Thank you.
Are you all set and excited to make this Indian soup?
Yes.
I think most of them are muted, so. So did you get a chance to get the lentils and the garam masala?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think that ML is the only new person joining us today, so you can
Okay,
just kind of assume that everybody's with you as you talk us
Okay.
through what we're doing. And ML, you just jump in anytime you have a question or a suggestion, okay? We found that no matter how long you're cooking, you always have a suggestion that helps someone else. So don't be shy. We want to learn from you and help you if you need any help, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Actually, I'm gonna put myself on mute because there's a lot of background in my kitchen. So
Sure. So have you already started or halfway through, or you're starting now?
I have a question. I'm at the point where I am simmering. Am I supposed to simmer with the lid off or the lid on?
I simmered it for like 20 minutes with the lid on, and then I took it off.
Okay. So I started for 7 minutes with the lid off, so I'm going to put it on.
Yeah. I think it just helps to, keep the like the moisture and everything in there while the carrots and celery are getting cooked.
Okay. Done. Thank you.
So I'm looking forward to this, and I'm curious about the use of red onions instead of white onions. And I wonder if you could explain why that is your preference.
I think the red onions have a little bit of that, the flavor and the spice. Like it's a little bit on the flavorful side versus the white onions, which are more sweeter or bland. So I prefer using the red onions versus the white. But again, it's your preference. If you have white and not the red, you're more than happy to use those.
Definitely using the red, and I'll let you know how I feel about it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So yeah, this is like an easy soup to put together. Once you have your onions, garlic, carrots, and celery all cut up, all you have to do is, add olive oil and let them cook for about 8 to 10 minutes till they become a little tender. And then you can add the tomatoes and the brown lentils. Now, as I was mentioning earlier to Lenny, the brown lentils, I had soaked them for about 5 to 6 hours just to facilitate the easy cooking or during that 1 hour that we have. But even if you haven't soaked them and you added them directly, I think it would just take maybe 10 to 20 minutes extra to cook.
Yeah, I agree. I put the lentils in and followed the time on the recipe and checked it, and I'm like, no. So
they were not done. Yeah.
No, they needed almost double the time.
Yes. I don't know why the recipe, last night I was thinking about it, and I should have probably emailed Deb to just send out a message like soak the lentils for 6 hours. But again, depending on who sees that email and who sees the messages.
Yeah.
Suparna, I have a question about the lentils. I had something in my pantry that I'm substituting. I found it at Costco and I got excited about it, but I hadn't known what to do with it until now. It's this urad. I don't know. I guess can't really see. It's UR.
Yeah.
I can't get it. But
you
urad
did the urad. URAD.
So I was gonna substitute that. Is there any big reason why I shouldn't?
It's the black one, right?
It says it's the whole white. So I think the skin has come off. They take the skin off and they sell the
Okay,
white
okay, yes.
whole
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, those fall mostly into the dal family, like the tur dal, the urad dal, the moong dal.
Yeah.
And I was just telling Lenny, what I did was I went to the Indian store and I picked up, it's called the masoor.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
this gives that very nice, like the brown. I mean, there is an orange color also in the same family. They have the masoor one, which is orange colored. And this is like the brown one, or the crimson, as they call it on the packet.
Yeah.
But it gives, I think when you use the moong and the urad, it gives more of a flavor for the dal, like,
Yeah.
more
but
than
if-
that lentils or
if-
the beans that we
If she's
use.
gonna use urad today, what does she do
Yes.
differently? Does she cook it longer? Does she rinse it longer? What does she do differently to make urad work in this recipe?
So have you cooked it before? Like, it's not pressure cooked or anything, correct?
No, it hasn't
You
been
have not
cooked.
even soaked it.
No.
Okay. I would suggest, you like give it like a pressure cooker, in the, like just one whistle. Or it would be like when you cook it outside, it would just take a little longer time.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's not, or, just to have those grains whole, I would suggest soak it and then use it, maybe after 2 to 3 hours.
Okay.
Because
thank you.
with the pressure cooker, it's always a hit or a miss, depending on how much water you add. Even with one whistle, it can cook and it can go, like the grains won't remain, whole. Like I was just showing it to them. See, mine, when I cooked it, like I soaked it and you can see the masoor, the dal. I mean, not the dal, the lentil.
Yeah.
It's whole and it's cooked now. So I've just put it on a very slow. So each and every, like it's all separated. It's cooked, but it's not mushy. And you can actually see the grain or the actual lentil, the whole lentil as such.
Okay. Thank you.
So, yeah, I mean, you can use, some people like different lentils, so I'm sure you can substitute any, but in this particular case, because we were doing it with the brown lentils, I think I got close to the ones I found in the Indian store.
Yeah.
And
All
it
right,
has a
thank
very,
you.
very nice flavor. The masoor, I don't know if you've eaten the dal makhani at some of the Indian restaurants.
Yeah.
So that has a combination of 3 of them, and masoor is one of them. So it has a very nice flavor and a taste to it.
All right, I'm gonna go dump my veggies in the pot. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Suparna, you want to walk everyone through what's happening here?
Yeah, so are you all like, in the stage where the carrots, celery, onions, and garlic?
Go ahead and assume that everybody's with you, unless you just keep on pushing forward and.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think some of them are already way ahead. So after you've, added all the veggies, you can add the tomatoes and the lentils and the broth. So I did a combination of broth and water, and just let it boil, and then put in some salt and pepper. And I added about 3 tablespoons of the garam masala. But, depending on, like, if you don't want it very dark or very, like spicy with too much flavor, you can even cut it down to 2 tablespoons. So it's mainly up to the taste, some people really like it, with that you know, the spice, you know.
Let's talk about garam masala. From what I read, I did a little research that
Okay.
families almost or cooks, chefs almost sometimes have their own recipe. They make their own combinations.
Right.
I found a generic one on the internet that
Okay.
had, it was a 1-to-1 ratio: coriander, cumin, cardamom, cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, and black pepper. You could substitute allspice, it said, for cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg.
Yes.
So anyway, I made this mixture and measured out. And I can see how in families it's based on your own taste and preferences. I wish I'd used less cloves because cloves are such a dominant flavor.
Right.
But anyway, I think it tastes okay. It's just a clove forward mixture. So in my kitchen, if I make it garam masala again, by mixing things, I will not put as much cloves. And I actually, when the vegetables were 2 minutes before they finished cooking in the pot, I added my garam masala to kind of warm it up a little. I don't know why. It just, we've done that before in recipes. So that was my little kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I think it's fine. You can add it. So I usually make, you know, the garam masala that you just talked about. But in the Indian store, you get this ready garam masala that I keep it handy to add it to a lot of my North Indian veggies when I'm making. So a lot of times, you know, you don't have that time to make everything fresh at you know, when you're making like paneer or chickpeas. So this goes very well with the chickpeas too, or like a potato vegetable. So it's called like garam masala. You know,
so what are the ingredients in that package in the garam masala?
Okay, so this has cumin, coriander, cinnamon, clove sticks, black pepper, dry ginger, then cardamom, salt, sesame seeds, green cardamom, and asafoetide, a little bit of that. Yeah. So I think everything that you mentioned, but it's that proportion that is, you know, important. So if you like more of the cinnamon and the cardamom flavor, then you can add more of that. And what this does is, you know, like when they sell it, you know, in this, they kind of have all of these spices put together, and then you just add it, like, you know, that's what I said, 2 tablespoons or 3 tablespoons, depending on the taste you like. So yeah, and I think after that, you just allow it to boil till the lentils are done. And I have not yet taken it out and, you know, taken some scoop in the blender to make it thick. So I'm just going to wait and see how the final, you know, it's looking. But you don't need to take 6 cups. You can even take 2 to 3 cups, because the entire purpose is to just give it that little bit of a thick texture to the soup. And even though this says like thyme, I did not add any thyme to mine.
No, I did. I had so much left over from Thanksgiving cooking
Okay.
that I had it all ready and was very happy.
Okay.
I can't believe you're telling me this. So I had to go out to the patio and harvest some fresh thyme, and I threw it in the pot. And now I'm going to have to pick them all out later, which of course the thing, as you know, drives me nuts. So had I known I could have omitted the thyme, I would have left it out. Oh, well.
I always tie mine into a little bouquet, so it's like a cluster. Makes it easier to pull out.
Brilliant.
If you had brought over some butcher string, I too could have done that. But
Next time.
I looked, oh, I know where it is. I think I do know where it is.
We're gonna tell Dave to give you cheesecloth for Hanukkah.
I may even have cheesecloth, but this isn't.
Hey, Marge, I think it's with the grinder.
I found the grinder. Lisa, it is with the grinder. I know exactly where the grinder is. Who was complaining about the grinders last week? Someone.
So Lisa, have you finished your soup? Like, is it almost done?
I did finish it. I did a head start because of the amount of time it takes me to clean up and stuff, and then I try to do something a little after.
How does the final one look? Like, do you have a picture of it?
No, but let me get the container from there. I've already got it in the fridge, but hold on a second.
Okay. Wow.
So in the meantime, can I tell a lentil story?
We need a good lentil story, Betsy.
We all need a good lentil story. So I was in New Delhi for work with my friend Manisha, and we had dinner with her uncle and aunt. And the uncle, we went out for dinner. He said, "Well, do you like Indian food?" I said, "I love Indian food." He said, well, what do you like?" I said, "Well, it may sound a little strange, but I love dal. I love dal makhani." He said, no, you don't." I said, "But I do." He goes, no, Americans don't like lentils. They don't eat lentils. I said, "I do like lentils." No. He goes, "I've lived in Texas and I know Americans don't like that." So we had a wonderful dinner. And afterwards he said to Manisha, he goes, "I like your friend Betsy, but she's not a typical American." And Manisha said, "Why not?" She goes, "She eats lentils and she's funny." So I like lentils.
I think it's very sad to judge all Americans by Texans. As someone who worked for nearly 20 years for a Texas company, it was much better working for the Brits the other 20 years. Now I want you to see, where's Lisa? Lisa, are you listening? Lisa, here is the string. And the string was, which of course is no good now, exactly where the grinder was, which I found after the fact.
Okay, let's see.
I think it was Julia that was talking last time about the grinder, about not having about using the old grinders.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, looks good.
It's brown, more brown than mine is, but I think that's probably because we use different spices. And
I think you added, what lentils did you use, Lisa?
I used brown lentils that I bought at the Bethesda Co-op.
Okay.
And I did puree, total of 6 cups.
Okay.
Like 2 pots going, so 3 cups from each pot. And I added extra kale because I had the kale. But I think the kale is really good because it gives it a different texture in the soup.
Yes.
More vitamins, minerals, all that good kind of stuff. So
right.
Also, I think we may see those darn cloves in action with the darker color. So anyway.
So did you grind everything?
Oh, no, I had them already in the cabinet. They were mostly all pansy spices or from Yekta Market. So no,
You didn't grind any of the spices?
No, I'm sorry.
No, I think because I cook, using this garam masala very often, it never occurred to me to say, either you'll find the ready garam masala or make sure if you're making it, just grind it, like a dry powder. So that's what, so it, you don't want those cloves or, the cardamom, all of that coming, as you're eating. You don't want those in your way.
These were all powdered. These were all powdered spices. So
I
put them in a jar and then stirred it and then shook the jar of everything. So it was all powder. So.
Okay. Yeah. No, when you said, the cloves, so I thought maybe you didn't grind them.
No. Nope. It was the 2 teaspoons right from the jar and fine powder. So there was an American gum. Was it called tea berry gum? I think when I was growing up, that was clove flavor or whatever.
Okay.
I love tea berry.
And you'd love this soup.
I will be making it tomorrow. Woo!
Now, do you have any of these, like, do you cook Indian food, any of you? Like, do you make anything at home? Like, besides the soup?
We do a lot of Indian cooking at my home. I have a daughter who's a vegetarian, so when she
Okay.
visits,
Okay.
we have lots of Indian cookbooks and love exploring it. And I took a cooking class when I was once in New Delhi and had a wonderful time there.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that's exciting.
I make some Indian food, and I like making chutneys, you know.
Oh, okay, okay. The green chutneys, yeah.
Chutney especially.
Okay.
The Indian market, Guru has homemade tamarind and cilantro chutney that is quite lovely
Yes.
in the back of the store.
Yeah, as when we were growing up, you know, the dates and tamarind chutneys, we use it along with in some of our junk food, we call it, you know, like bhel and pani puri, sev puri. So 365 days, I always have that in my freezer. So whenever you feel like having those. I should have all of you over for some junk Indian food. No, it's really, I mean, you know, keep aside the nutritious value, but the flavors and the taste is amazing. All right, so I think we are pretty much at the end. If you have already blended some of the soup, then you can add kale and lime juice at the very end. And they have given some optional like parsley and red crushed pepper. So I've added those, you know, just to give it that little bit of a spice, you know, kick to the soup. So I've added some red crushed peppers.
Now, let me ask you on, because with kale, I wanted to make sure that it broke down a little bit and was a little more tender. So I actually cooked the soup for a little longer to help the kale sort of relax a little bit and not be so stiff. I don't know if you usually do that or if anyone else does that, but anyway, that was just kind of my freelancing, which is unusual for me from a recipe.
So I mean, I usually cook it till the time I feel it's, you know, blended in nicely and it's not like floating around or like separate from the soup itself. How does it taste, Marsh?
Something is a little too chunky. I think it may be the carrots, because some of us may have been a little lazy and not diced them small enough. So I'm just going to let it sit. It still has another minute and a half to hit the 30 minutes. So, but I wanted to taste it to see if I had to adjust anything, and it tastes really good. I'm very happy with it. What I was going to tell you, Suparna, is one of the advantages of living where Lisa lives and where I live and where some of the other people on the call live near the Bethesda Co-op, which is down on MacArthur at Seven Locks. When I buy spices for whatever we're cooking, I can buy as little as I want. In other words, if I need, 2 or 3 tablespoons of something that I don't typically use, they sell them in these little, just pour it yourself into little baggies. And that's a really nice way to buy these things because they're not sitting in your cabinets.
Yes. No, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So you just keep your old spice bottles that you've had for 100 years. I mean, I literally, honestly, my black pepper can is 50 years old. And I just keep putting, it's one of those old McCormick the good size black pepper, and I just pour more black pepper into it. It's not going to go bad.
I think for today's, everybody has used different lentils. So that's really, interesting to see, how it all emerges and how it would taste, whether it's, urad or dal or tur or.
I use the green lentils, and the reason I used the green lentils is the last time I priced the brown lentils down at the co-op, I found that they were pretty expensive, as opposed to buying a bag at Aldi's for $1.29
Okay.
a pound. That's why I use the green lentils first, because I have them, because I'm, I mean, we're always making some sort of lentil soup. I can't believe Texans don't eat lentils. Oh well.
No, I grew up in Pennsylvania and I never had a lentil. I just wasn't what we ate.
We had them in soups, when soups were not, not frequently, but we had them. It was, I think, Eastern Europeans must eat lentils. I don't know.
Oh,
Not
no.
red lentils. I've never had red lentils before.
Potatoes. We had plenty of
Oh
potatoes.
God, but I don't like potatoes, and maybe that's why. My husband was all excited because our friend Amy made him mashed potatoes for Thanksgiving, because I didn't make them.
Do any of you make chickpeas at home?
A lot of the soups have chickpeas in them, but I typically use just the canned ones.
Okay. No, I
So
meant
my
just
leftover
use-
turkey soup, after I made the turkey stock, and then the recipe I used was one that had just been in the New York Times that include garbanzos and farro. And it had also garam masala. And it was delicious, very different, not very turkey-like, but wonderful. Yeah, lots of protein in chickpeas.
Yes.
I had hoped to get to that today, but didn't. I decided my husband was still permitted to eat what was left on the turkey carcass, and then tomorrow, hopefully, I'll have some time in the afternoon to do something with that bird.
Just my batch of soup made about 8.5 quarts.
Oh, okay. That's good.
In March, I'm going to jump ahead, and so you don't have to ask me. I will be dropping off the soup tomorrow morning at your house.
I'm so excited.
Marge, do you drop it off at the Germantown up
Yeah,
county?
I take the soup up to Germantown. There's no need for all the people in Bethesda to go up to Germantown. So
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's where I normally go also. I drop it off at.
if they get the soup to me before 10 o'clock, it'll go, or later in the week. Like I know Joyce was cooking. I don't see her on the call. I think she's doing yoga now. Where is Joyce? She has something. So I know she was going to cook tonight, and she usually drops her soup off like on Wednesday or Thursday. And so it just sits in the freezer till next week. That'll be fine. Of course, the problem we had this past week is they did not want our soups because they knew it was crazy there.
Look at Fatu's dog. Wait, look at Fatu's dog in the picture. It looks like he's the one signing on.
Hello.
Look at that sweet baby.
How does that soup taste?
What a cutie. And Alexa, I think I see you and your mom in your new kitchen. That is pretty fun. Emma, how are things going for you? How's your soup doing?
I'm okay, I think. I'm a little behind, but everything's so far so good. I actually have a question to Marge because I heard she was delivering the soup.
Yeah.
Where do you live? I live in Bethesda. Where do you live?
Do you live in downtown Bethesda or?
I live close to Glen Park.
Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, I live in Carter Rock, behind the elementary school.
Oh, okay.
So if you can get to my house sometime between 9:30 and 10 tomorrow morning.
Actually, tomorrow I work full time. Is there any other time during the week I may drop
Yeah,
off?
there's usually someone home. So just
Wednesday?
yeah, there's usually someone here. My husband works from home. So,
Oh.
and at this point, it's cold enough that even if there's no one here, you can leave it on the stoop because, you know, sadly, it will not be defrosting. But yeah, if you want to drop soup off, that's fine.
Try to this in the private chat, maybe.
Yeah, I'll send you a note. I'll do that. Give me a sec.
Deb, another thought would be to go to Salma's, right?
Also, Deb, you're on
And Deb,
mute.
you're muted, huh?
Thank you. Yeah, I want to make sure ML knows not only about Salma's, but also about the ability to drop off in downtown Bethesda on Sunday mornings at the Bethesda Presbyterian Church, which is often right next door to where the Bethesda Market is. It's usually at the elementary school, and the church next door to it collects soups on Sunday mornings from 10 to noon. And that's on our website called Here to Help, because that's the food assistance provider that's in that church.
Okay, that's actually easier for me because it's Sunday.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So go right on our website where you got the recipe, and you'll see that drop off information.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So how's everybody doing so far? Almost done?
Just waiting for the lentils to soften up.
Yeah, it's delicious. And I just used garam masala from, the store, but I also added in everything, as you were saying them, I was taking my cumin and acevedo and everything. I don't know what it ended up, but it really tastes good. It's great. It's interesting, hold on. Yeah, the garam masala that, just regular old McCormick doesn't have anything that you were mentioning. Well, it says spices, including coriander, black pepper, cumin, cardamom, and cinnamon. Oh, actually, this does have a lot of those. But then I added like ginger powder and other things that it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, as Lisa was saying, the taste of the soup can vary with the amount of garam masala. And if you're making the garam masala fresh, then what proportion you have added it in. You can go wrong, if it's got more of cinnamon or more of cardamom. It's got that rich flavor of one of the spices. So, it's fine. Like I was telling Lisa, I use this for a lot of my cooking. It's the garam masala. You get it at some of these Indian stores.
Is that a guru?
No, this is from one of the Indian stores that, Patel Brothers, or they have one very close to where I live, like right behind Lake Forest Mall, actually. So they have a huge, like one whole aisle is dedicated to all these spices. And nowadays, I think, if you've been to one recently, they have, depending on what vegetable you're making, they will have the spices ready for that vegetable. Like if you're making paneer, for example, which is, the cottage cheese with tomatoes and green peppers, they will have paneer masala, like a ready pack that all you have to do is just add it to your onions and peppers and paneer and tomatoes, and the thing is ready. You don't need to gather all those individual spices and proportions. It's all like ready made, and it tells you how much to add depending on how much you're making. Wow. So it's very interesting. Like when I grew up, I was making everything from scratch. And now here I see it's like, okay, this is very easy now to put together and to even cook for 25 people. It's so easy to put everything together.
Suparna, can I ask you a question? I know that in lots of Indian markets, there's like Shan spice mixes and National. Do you have a preference between Shan and National?
I usually use Badshah, this one. This is my favorite, but
okay, that's good to know. Can you hold it up closer? Okay, excellent.
Yeah, they're all good. You know, Shan, the National, they're all, you know, good brands. So it depends on, you know, what you like. I've been using this from the very beginning when I was growing up. So when I found this here, I was like, okay, I'm just going to use this.
That's great. Okay, excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think the blending will have to be maybe a little later when the soup is a little cooled or cool down. You cannot add it to the blender right away. So it'll be just too hot to blend it.
Fatu, how is your soup coming along?
Who did you ask?
Fatu.
Sorry, I'm always on mute.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's getting there, but you know, I think I have like another 20 minutes. I'm not ready to.
Yeah.
You know, it's not ready.
No worries. Julia, Kelly, everybody good?
Yeah, I have one question. If you don't, can you not drain the tomatoes? Maybe someone asked this already, but it's been Grand Central Station around here. If you don't, can you not drain the tomatoes and use less liquid, like less broth?
No, I found that in my cans of tomatoes, I bought the chopped tomatoes, 3 of the large cans. There wasn't a lot of liquid in the cans, so I just heave-hoed the cans in, and I still use the same amount of liquid. I think the lentils will sort of keep absorbing a little bit of the water and make it thicker, so I think you're okay.
Yeah, I was not going to drain because I'm.
Yeah, you don't need to drain.
I'm a lazy soup maker, as you probably have gathered.
I think making it is a big thing. How you make it is a different thing, but.
Well, I believe in making it with love. So that's the main thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually got a nice chopper. So it's easy to chop the onions, you know, in that. Because the first time when I started, I was like, you know, cutting those onions. And I have that Pampered Chef, you know, chopper that makes a lot of noise, like you keep banging it. But then I found another nice chopper on the internet. So I use this, you know, I'd shown it last time. And it's so easy to put, you know, like they have different blades or different different sizes. And this one, you know, cuts the onions and all. Like in 5 minutes, I was done with like 6, 7 onions.
Something like.
So good.
Something like that. And I don't know how to use it.
Oh, something like this?
Yeah, I mean, like it's not the same color, but something like that. But you know, I don't use it. I'll try.
We tried to use ours this week. Same thing. We got one maybe 6 months ago. I tried once, had no luck. Someone said something last week about cutting in smaller pieces. So I tried again. I couldn't do it. My husband, of course, thought I was an idiot, tried to do it and cut his finger.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. I mean, not terrible. His finger is still there. But, you know, what brand, Suparna, what brand is that? Because
this is
need to know.
It's called Full Star.
What kind of?
Yeah,
I think I posted it on one of the chats last time.
I have one that's by Mueller, I think, and it's also good, but I think it does depend on the brand, maybe, because
maybe.
I also had one, and when I did it, it scared my dogs because it made such a loud noise that they would like go running out of the kitchen.
That might be a good thing, as opposed to my dog who likes to attack the vacuum cleaner.
Oh, mine does. Mine barks and barks at the vacuum cleaner. One of them.
Okay.
So it does make a lot of noise. So it's like, you know, if you cut your onion in half, just put it on there. You have to actually, you know, give like a bang.
But it works.
They're all done.
Yeah. Well.
So, but it just makes that every time you have to close it and, you know, hit it, it gives that loud bang. But, you know, 5 minutes, it's okay.
I'm sorry I didn't return mine when I bought it, because it really, I thought I'll get to this later, I'll figure it out, but it's not, it didn't get any better. And now David has proven that it really is, you know, that even an engineer couldn't do it.
Yeah, I don't use mine.
It's easy to cut the onions. I think the other vegetables, like I tried I had those carrot, you know, the small ones, and I tried to put it in there thinking, you know, they'll come out all even. It was not easy. I got all like 4 or 5 small carrots stuck to that. It wouldn't press, it wouldn't go down. And I'm like, oh God. So it took me 15 minutes to get all those carrots out.
And I was trying to do sweet potatoes yesterday. I think we were doing sweet potatoes.
Not easy, I think.
Well,
easy.
I cut them in thin slices, so I didn't mind doing the slicing. Yeah. But yeah, just could not push them through. It was not going.
So onions are good. The only thing is, like, you know, you have to bang it and make that noise. And the other day, my husband is like, "Why are you making so much noise?"
Because I'm
cutting the onions, you know, for the salad.
Okay. I'm going to look for something better.
And apropos of nothing, Deb, I love the top that you were wearing. You're looking very chic.
Thank you, Betsy. That is rarely something I hear. So I am going to treasure that compliment. Thank you.
Plus, you are in Florida, I think, so you can enjoy, you know, the sleeveless.
Exactly. That's true. I'll be back to sweaters tomorrow.
Are you coming back tomorrow?
I am. Yeah.
Oh yeah, bundle up, because we've arranged for the temperatures to drop by about 30 degrees for you.
You guys are the best. Thank you.
We want you to have the holiday experience in Maryland.
Exactly. Feel that nice, brisk, chilly air.
How much is it? How much is it dropping?
Oh,
it's going down to 28 tomorrow.
Yeah, and 30 degrees. I mean, it's really, and the wind chill factor, it's going to be Fargo-like type weather.
Who wants to walk my dogs?
Oh. I think I heard Deb volunteer. She'll need to exercise her legs when she gets off the plane.
Yeah.
There you go.
Deb, you have the job.
You guys, my dad wants to make some dinner plans. I'll be back.
No.
I think everyone on this group is mainly in Bethesda. Is that right?
I'm in Chevy Chase.
Okay.
But close.
Close, yeah.
Lenny's in Virginia.
Yeah.
I'm in Potomac.
Mostly. But remember, we're all going to invite someone who lives out of town for next week. What are we cooking next week? I can't even remember. Oh, I think we're cooking maybe the wild autumn the autumn wild rice soup. Is that next week? If it is,
I think
we
it's
know
the lemon, I think it's the lemon rice.
no, that's the student soup on Sunday.
Ah.
I think.
Yeah, it's the cozy autumn wild rice soup.
All right, so that we know was one of our favorite soups that we're gonna remake. So if you haven't, half of you haven't made it yet with us, it's a great, great soup. And for those of you who have made it, think about if you want to invite someone who, you know, you think might enjoy this, because we know it's a great soup. They're all great, truthfully. But anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to that soup next week. And if anybody does want to cook a lemon rice soup, we've made it before. It's got cannellini beans and some chopped vegetables. So it's not just a lemon rice soup. It's got some chopped vegetables, cannellini beans, and it's a lemon rice soup. So that's Sunday. I'm going to do that with the students from 5 to 6.
Okay.
On that wild rice soup,
Yeah.
I didn't buy just wild rice at the store. I bought this stuff called Wild Blend.
Well, I've used it. It's fine.
Yeah, which works really well. So I almost knocked myself out looking at wild rice and forgot to buy some when I was in North Dakota, Fargo. And guess what? Here we go.
Good. Yeah. Thank you. That's a good one.
Trader Joe's has straight wild rice if anyone's looking for it.
Thank you. Gotta love Trader Joe's. Wow.
Yeah, no, I found it there several times and I've been happy to find it there because
Yeah.
it is hard to find.
And how's the price on that? I mean,
It's pretty good because Trader Joe's prices, I can't remember exactly, but Trader Joe's prices are good.
Okay.
The Bethesda Co-op also used to have it, and I would just mix whatever rice I had. I'd mix it, you know, basically water it down with regular rice because it can get pretty expensive. But I'm going to look at the Trader Joe's.
Yeah, if it is not too much of a distraction, can you tell a little bit about the student one? How does that go? Because my son will be attending first time this Sunday.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot like this, but with much more leadership. I'm not going to record it. There's a couple of rules that the county has about how students need to be supervised. So what I have found, how old is your son? Emil, how old is your son?
14.
14. So what I found, we've only just done 2 kind soups for students before this. We've had students join us on our Monday group. And I would say that most of the students have a parent cooking along with them. It's not necessary, depends on how much of your chopping is done in advance. I lead you through step by step what we're doing. So it's the students really can do it on their own. It's how comfortable they are being alone in the kitchen. If they're going to be chopping a whole bunch of onions and carrots and celery, then it might be nice to have a parent around. But if you guys prep that beforehand, then I can definitely talk them and walk them through the rest. But often I've had a parent in the room with the child, and it's just like this. You'll have your laptop or some kind of computer set up in the kitchen. You'll have your soup pot. You'll have, you know, all your ingredients laid out. By the time 5 o'clock hits, we'll get on, I'll introduce it, and I will in fact walk you through it. I'll say, okay, the first thing we're going to do is add some oil. It says 1/3 cup, but all you want to do is however big your pot is, cover the bottom plus a little bit. Then we'll throw our onions in, and I'll teach the students that a lot of times you'll add a little bit of salt while you're sauteing your onions because it brings the water out. So we're going to try to give tips and tricks as we cook, and we're going to keep everybody moving along at the same time, much more than we do on Mondays. And that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, absolutely. If you have any questions, feel free.
What
Yeah,
age
he's
group?
excited.
What age group do they usually join?
You know, we've only done this 2 other times so far.
Okay.
And we offer SSL hours. So in Montgomery County, that's anywhere from after 5th grade through senior
high school. Yes.
But it can be middle or high school.
Okay.
It's really up to the parents. We've had elementary school kids cook with us, and it's been absolutely delightful in the past. But they won't be doing this for student service learning hours on these Sundays when we do that. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
What time is it? What time is the call? It's not at 5, isn't it earlier?
You know, Salma made a very good point to me when I put together our most recent newsletter, which will, if you didn't open it yet, you'll get it tomorrow for Giving Tuesday. And that is, you've got this temple from 5 to 6, and now you've got special Sundays in 2024 from 5 to 6, but then you've got students from 3 to 4 or 4 to 5, make it all 5 to 6. And she's right. So I reached out to all the students who had signed up already and heard from a few of them, including ML, that switching to 5 to 6 is fine. So we will be cooking on Sundays from 5 to 6, sometimes with students, sometimes with different temples, and sometimes as part of our Sunday outreach to include people for whom Mondays is difficult.
But you're always doing the first Sunday, right? So you're not, we cook from 4 to 5, so it doesn't conflict with us.
Yeah, no, we are not only doing the first Sunday. Temple Emmanuel had to scatter their Sundays from, they had a few that she picked out on the first, a few on the second, and a few on the fourth. So I am doing the adult Monday, the alternative to Monday KindSoups once a month on the third Sunday of the month.
We cook the second and fourth. I don't care.
I know, and you're an hour earlier, so that'll work.
I'm an hour earlier. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
I had a question, Deb.
Yeah.
Where can we get the KindWorks aprons? The one like Marge is wearing?
Yeah, you know, that Marge earned that baby through the years. I think I may have a few left at the office. I think they were like $25.
Okay.
And when I get back to the office, I can confirm that.
Okay, sure. So I guess we are pretty much reaching the end of our soup making.
Okay. Everybody feeling, let's just do
Everybody
a gallery
feels
review and see if people are feeling confident and ready to let Suparna go. Everybody come and look for 1 minute into the camera. I'll also take a picture. Alexa and your mom, are you guys there? I'm gonna get a picture. Marge, who wants to give me a thumbs up? Whoops, that didn't work. Hold on 1 second. Okay, ready? No, it's not working for me. Oh, well. All right, so everybody's feeling confident and good? You want to go enjoy your evenings? Suparna, we can't thank you enough.
Oh, thank you to everyone who joined and made this a success.
Good. Does everybody's house smell so darn good?
Yes.
It's probably filled with spices.
That is fantastic.
Thanks. No, thanks to everyone to join and to, take part in this soup making. I'm sure you all enjoyed it and learned some different tips here and there.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you
Many
again.
thanks.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
have a
you.
great
Bye.
week, everyone.
Travel safely, Deb.
Thank you,
Bye.
Betsy.
Yeah, have a good trip. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye,
Bye.
you guys.
Bye.